Hello everybody, a special hello to Sweden and the 640 odd views from there. Hello everyone. Today we continue to explore the D in D&D, or the second D, dragons. I've had many requests for all types of dragons, so I'm just going to pick one off from the top of the list, and this episode is about the Grey and Fang Dragons. These dragons are some of the most lethal predators of intelligent humanoids in all of the known realms due to a combination of unique abilities and traits. Fang Dragons, at least on the world of Toril, are a rare breed, and they've largely been replaced, and by replaced I mean hunted down and murdered by the superior Grey Dragons, and there is a reason for this, and it's called Tiamat, the evil goddess of chromatic dragons. So Fang Dragons are a little more mysterious, as they seem not to have come about through Tiamat's will, but from some kind of demonic influence. According to the lore of Faerun, Fang Dragons were first encountered in the ruins of Mithranor, and they can also be found in the Starwood in Cormanthor, the Border Forest, Spiderhaunt Woods, and other forest areas of Dale Lands, Moonseas, and Sembia. Though how many remain these days, who can say? More on that in a moment. As the saying goes, either something went very, very right or very, very wrong to produce the first Fang Dragon, but it is clear that they've had some sort of demonic tinkering. First of all, they're not excellent flyers. They have smaller wings and are much heavier, with armoured and muscular frames of thick bone. They're brutes compared to even the red dragon, and their physical attacks are some of the strongest. They can easily tear a person to bloody shreds in seconds. They lack a couple of things that one normally associates with dragons, that is an elemental breath weapon and innate magical spell-casting ability. Fang Dragons are in fact Mage Bane. They have the power to deflect low-level spells, and this is an ability that they develop with age, so young dragons can do it once a day, adults once per rest, and ancient Fang Dragons can recharge the ability on a roll of 5 to 6 on a d6 at the end of the round. You may want to increase the level of spell that can be deflected as the dragon grows in age and power as well, but I suggest you keep it under level 4. So young dragons deflect cantrips and level 1 spells, adults up to level 2 spells, and ancients bat away level 3 spells. While they don't have a breath weapon, they have a formidable bite attack that imparts exhaustion levels on the victim, as the Fang Dragon is said to devour the soul and grow stronger from it. There is certainly some truth to this, as the teeth of the Fang Dragon are a critical component in life-draining magical weapons. Gaining exhaustion levels is certainly something that requires a saving throw, appropriate for the challenge rating of your Fang Dragon. I leave that up to you. The claw attacks of the Fang Dragon do a little more than a comparable red dragon, such as, basically the same amount of damage, but the Fang Dragon's strength bonus is doubled on top of the usual. They have an armor class that is about the same as a red dragon. I wouldn't go overboard. However, the scales are wicked, sharp, and grow to ridges of horns and spines that, when roused to fury and being surrounded by a large number of foes, means the Fang Dragon can lash out with its tail, joints, neck, and spine, using its entire body as a shredding weapon. The brutal mayhem this monster can unleash on the battlefield lends credence to the theory that this was a creature that is infused with demonic powers of destruction. They love it. Added to this is the attitude of the beast, and another unusual feature, similar to the horrific ability of the Lucrota to mimic animal and humanoid sounds. The Fang Dragon has a higher intelligence, and they can be very devious, able to speak multiple languages. The insight wisdom check is at least 16 and maybe higher the first time a character is deceived this way. They use their voice to lure and trick people. Fang Dragons prefer to hunt and eat intelligent humanoid prey. This means that dealing with the Fang Dragons when you're an intelligent humanoid is extremely dangerous. They have been described as unpredictable and prone to random fits of rage. This is in no small part attributed to the demonic destructive urges that give them a sporadic desire to literally tear the world apart for no particular reason other than they can. And also, humanoids are nothing but food to them, and they may toy with their food, but at any moment they may just decide to eat it. And they are cruel, nasty sadists who will pluck the arms and legs of children just to see how the parents react before eating them too, one by one. Perhaps wounding some and letting them run for a while before hunting them down for dessert, maybe even mimicking the sound of their dead children, just to taunt them. They like the taste of fear, is what I'm saying. Fang Dragons are also loathed by most other dragons. There's a reason for this, and it was a Fang Dragon that was responsible for the fall of the Empire of Ecosia in the war between the dragons and Dragonborn and the fiends and tieflings of Baal Terath on the world of Narath. the setting for 4th edition. Zebukiel was a prominent dragon aristocrat who, when with the war with the devils and tieflings seemed to be endless and hopeless, sought to bring an end by meeting tiefling leaders and then systematically assassinating dragons and dragonborn leaders of Ecosia. He was discovered and cursed by an exarch of Bahamut to never die except by violence. Thousands of years later, the craven, broken and scarred wretch is still on the run, lairing in lost ruins and hidden places, protected by golems, grimlocks and kobold fanatics. Tiamat herself was not pleased with the very existence of Fang Dragons and has opted to improve on them, to bring them back into the draconic ideal, and has charged her new children, the Grey Dragons, to hunt down and kill any Fang Dragon that they find. Grey Dragons have a couple of notable physical differences that can identify them. First, they have accentuated scythe-like blades at the end of their tail. Fang Dragons have spikes, but they don't have scythe-like blades. These horn blades can slice a man in half in a blink of an eye as the tail whips by. Also, they have an acid breath weapon and the ability to detach some of their body spines to fling like daggers or pin victims in place. Instead of a soul-devouring bite, the grey dragon bite causes petrification, similar to the strike of a cockatrice. A grey dragon lays its eggs after about 4 months for a total incubation time of 20 months. The clutch numbers 1 or 2 eggs, all of which prove viable under optimal conditions. A grey dragon is a wormling until about the age of 10 and a young until nearly 200 years, and becomes an elder at about 900 years and an ancient around 1400. The oldest confirmed age of any grey dragon has reached is approximately 2100 years, but of course we've yet to see how long they can live, because they haven't been around that long. When a grey dragon dies, it petrifies, becoming a spiky outcropping with an uncanny draconic shape. When a deceased grey dragon experiences environmental diffusion, so its essence is given up willingly to the environment as it reaches an age and it chooses to merge with its environment, the result is an area of abnormal aridity. Streams running through the area dry up, as do wells, and any creature that spends more than an hour in the area becomes desperately thirsty, parched, and water stored in containers just basically evaporates. Grey dragons are much better at flying than Fang Dragons, and they have lighter grey scales on their underbelly that allows them to move with some stealth through the air when they stalk prey on the wing. They also love to eat humanoids. They are basically the same in attitude to the Fang Dragon, and they prefer to chase down prey to the point that even a friendly dealing with may end up with them playing a game with their ally and then chasing them down and killing them. They're somewhat notorious for this habit, so you've got to be very wary when you're dealing with them, because anything at any time can turn into a particularly deadly chase. Even as mighty as they are, they still prefer to avoid a fair fight, and they always attack from a strategic advantage, such as blasting victims on the ground while they stay airborne, and they will take out any victims who can fly, but will retreat and go after easier pickings if there are a few flying characters, or they are putting up too ferocious of a fight to defend themselves. I mean, it's just a meal. The Grey Dragon has not forgotten about them, though, and will probably hunt them down and their loved ones later on, before butchering them all in a vile manner. Fang Dragons show up in Dragon Magazine issue 134 from June 1988, along with a slew of other dragons, many of them fan created. Some of them I've already had requests to hear more about, including the Were Dragon. Yes, there's an actual official listing for a Were Dragon. There's also the Aquatic Dragon, the Ichthyodrake, which is like a big shark dragon, the Stone Dragon, the Sand Dragon, and the Astral Dragon, which I'm looking forward to bringing them to you. One last note on the Fang Dragon and Grey Dragons: they are not skilled in casting spells. They are intelligent and cunning collectors of hoards of treasure, including magical items that they are perfectly capable of using in combat or otherwise. So certainly give them rings to protect them against certain attacks, or a magical sword they've strapped to one of their tail blades. They can really spice up combat, and the players will be incentivized to attack them, knowing that if they survive, they can loot their items off the dead dragon. That's about it for this week. I'll be back again with another video on dragons, possibly the brown dragon, up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll catch you again soon.